All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are in a bye, so we're breaking out the microphone and we're just going to talk Tampa Bay because they're 6-2. They're obviously first in the NFC South, but they're one of the best teams in the NFC in general. Apologize, I'm wearing a Blackhawks shirt making this video, but I don't feel like changing. And also, I'm a Blackhawks fan, but I do live in Tampa, so I should have gone to the game last Thursday, but I'm dealing with a foot thing. So, anyways, way too much TMI. We're talking Tampa. I could not be happier about the state of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers heading into their bye. Josh Grizzard, new offensive coordinator, Liam Cohn. I remember where I was exactly when Liam Cohn decided to leave the Tampa Bay Buccaneers hanging and depart to be the head coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And we've done this for a couple of years now because Dave Canales with Baker Mayfield, they light it up. So he goes and be the head coach for the Carolina Panthers. Liam Cohn comes in. They light it up even more. He departs to Jacksonville, and now Josh Grizzard is the OC. And a lot of people were, I don't think worried is the best word, but I do think people were hesitant, like, oh my God, Baker Mayfield, a guy who does not need another offensive coordinator. This dude's had like 30 different offensive coordinators in his NFL tenure. This guy does not need a new OC. This might ruin it. It has not happened, folks. Now, what's even more exciting is the worst part about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 6-2. You'd probably argue it's the offense. Now, take that with a grain of salt. I mean, we could just go off down the top of the list. Everyone's been injured. Chris Godwin started the year injured. Mike Evans injured a couple of times. Jalen McMillan injured in preseason. The injuries in the wide receiver room are nuts. Bucky Irving has been injured for a couple of weeks now. That's unfortunate. The offensive line, Tristan Wirfs to start the season. There's so many moving parts on this offensive line. It's almost hard to keep up with. So they're 14th in scoring. They're putting up 25 points per game. But when we look into the efficiency metrics, that's where it gets scary to me because they're not that good. A lot of these Bucs wins have been Baker Mayfield and the offensive defense just straight up willpower. It's not a talent gap. I'm talking 1-point win against the Houston Texans. That's pure resiliency. That's pure grit. That's pure determination. 3 points against Atlanta. The 2-point game, another comeback against the Jets. And it's like, when is this going to end? 3 points to the Seahawks. And then in the last 3 weeks, we finally started to see this team break out of the pack as far as just winning one score, fourth quarter, 1 minute left, Baker Mayfield comeback. So just to kind of drive this point home, I know it's the New Orleans Saints, and I know Spencer Rattler ended up getting benched, but they won by 20 on the road in New Orleans, a very difficult, it's a divisional matchup on the road. It's tough. It means more. Those games just mean more. So you had the 18 or 15-point loss to the Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions, I think, well, they're coming off their bye, but that was a really big win for Detroit. I think it's truly just a matter of time before Detroit re-cements themselves in the NFL media as like the team, the offense to take down. Now, you want to win these games, the Philadelphia game as well. You want to win these games. And the reason I bring that up is because the first game after the bye week is against the Patriots, and then you have the Rams. There's one more in there. Bills. The Bills are sprinkled in between those two football games. So you're playing some really good competition. You're playing some really good football teams, and I'd love to see Tampa win 2 of those 3 football games against the Rams, Bills, and Patriots. But as far as the efficiency goes, the Bucs are 24th in rushing. That's not going to last long. Whether you have offensive line injuries, the Bucky Irving injury, having to come back in the fourth quarter, the run game efficiency. I know the offensive line and the injuries and the unfortunate injuries. Cody being done for the year a couple of weeks ago, I don't have concerns about the rushing attack. They are 17th in yards per play. I think those kind of go hand in hand. A really good statistic for the Buccaneers offense is they are the fourth best turnover list team. So they're averaging 0.6 turnovers per game. That's good for 4th in the NFL. So I like that. They're keeping it clean. Baker's not making silly mistakes. He's going to throw picks. He'll have some fumbles. You're going to turn the football over. But despite bad efficiency metrics on offense, Tampa's winning football games, right? Defensively, the reason I say that was the strength is Well, first off, they're the 7th best rushing defense in the National Football League. And this is just like, whoa, let's go. Because last year, a little bit different, but that wild card loss, that first loss in the playoffs, Jaden Daniels, I mean, Jaden's dual threat ability it's the reason Tampa was eliminated from the playoffs. Jaden Daniels' a two-way ability is the reason Tampa lost in the playoffs. So they're 7th in rushing. All right. They're 16th in scoring, if you're wondering. They're only giving up 22 points per game. And then the two favorite stats I have with this whole defense is this. All right. First off, sacks. Anthony Nelson this past game was a beast. No Hassan Reddick injury. So Anthony Nelson comes in. You're definitely going to be seeing him get some more snaps because he was, he had a touchdown. He had a pick six. I mean, the guy, he had a couple of sacks and a pick six. The guy was a beast. They're 7th in sacks. Tampa has 25 sacks on the season. That's 7th in the NFL. That's awesome. That's going to work in playoff time. Once we get into those discussions, getting to the quarterback is extremely important. 1.5 takeaways per game. That's awesome. That's 5th in the NFL. The defense is averaging 1.5 takeaways per game. So you look at the defensive line, and it's a really fascinating group. Vita Vea, but then you've got Yaya Diaby, you've got Hassan Reddick, you've got Anthony Nelson, you've got Elijah Roberts, the rookie. Linebacker room, I know some people, I don't know, I feel like people really don't like Servassier Dennis. I know he's not really good in coverage. Some people still don't even really like Yaya Diaby at the linebacker position. But the secondary is the difference maker for the second half of the season. It's been the difference maker with all these injuries. And it was also the difference maker last year for why Tampa's defense was so damn bad, because their secondary was decimated from injuries. So I look at Jacob Parrish, who I don't think he's in DPOY talks, but he should be. All right. DPOY, defensive player of the year. I meant defensive rookie of the year. Jacob Parrish should be in it. Benjamin Morrison, he just came back. He's healthy. He's making plays. Antoine Winfield just had as good of a defensive game you could have against the New Orleans Saints. They got screwed as well. The refs were atrocious. I don't even really... We did this whole charade a couple of days ago on a recap video, but it's like, I don't know what the hell happened in that game with the refs. I don't really know what was going on. Zion McCollum, Tyke Smith has been a gem. Jamel Dean is making play after play, week after week. So I'm amped up about this Buccaneers team, and I don't know, it's Thursday, Halloween's tomorrow. We'll get into some film studies. If there's any film studies you guys want to do, if you guys want, let me know down below. But I don't know, we're local, and I just I like these face videos. I like sitting behind the camera with the microphone and making videos. So let me know if you like this style of content. I don't think we've done too much of it on this Bucs channel, but thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts on the 6-2 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We'll see you soon. Peace.